Hello, it's me. I'm Mover. We're early. So better early than late. Sometimes we're late. Today we're not. We're early. And in fact, this was like scheduled at the last minute, so I can't be late if it's scheduled at the last minute. But I have your favorite hero, Mustang driver, in case we were wondering. There it is. Author of Treason Flight, T.R. Matson. He's got some other stuff he's selling and peddling his wares. So we will add him to the stream now. There he is. Hello.
You really have to update that Shelby photo, please.
Mustang is amazing.
With the new garage. Come on, man. I did all that work.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. So welcome back. You're
Thanks.
a staple to the channel. Look, the viewership went from 22 to 103 as soon as you popped up. So that is telling you that that's it. And to pay homage, to pay the bills here for the presence of Wombat, please buy bullets.
They're bottle breachers.
Yeah, you can have that. You can have that. T.R. Matson, not to be confused with the TR. And never down, never out. My current motto, because that's a thing. I am living in the life of, what was your protagonist? What's his name?
Rattler.
Rattler. What's his name, though?
Rattler. Let's just go
Rattler.
call signs.
I'm living the life of the Rattler. And today we're doing the Mover, You Have the Ball. Roger Ball. Tomcats. People are already mad about my haircut. I don't know why. You are quiet.
No, I think
Mover,
they're talking about my haircut. Just because this is your channel.
I'm quiet. You know why I'm quiet? I told you this wouldn't work. As soon as you started, I'm gonna have to put my old earbuds in because.
How does the earbuds make you more or less quiet? Do they have?
Dude, I don't speak in science. I just like. How about now? You hear me?
You sound exactly no different.
Well, you
sounded great from the start to me, buddy.
Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Bam, bam, bam. And here we go. I should sound better. If I don't sound better, we'll do that. And then I sound better? No, then we do that.
You look younger. I mean, it's...
no. Somebody said I looked older than Tom Cruise in the Mavericks.
Well, I mean, if we're comparing...
Tim says I wasn't low. So you know what? People spoofing me. So today, let's get right to it so that people that are watching this later on don't skip it. Today we're going to talk about this article... Adversary Air contract for Nellis Air Force Base won't be renewed. After years of providing Nellis with red air capabilities, Draken will cease operations at the base in June. Dude, isn't that the life? Having a beard and getting to fly an A4? Wouldn't that be cool?
I'd never fit in an A4, but yes.
Generically speaking.
I'm speaking in genetics. I would never.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying, like a fight. Just a fighter. Any fighter. If you
would it be annoying to have your mask on, or do they just not wear masks because they're more awesome than active duty?
No, because that's an urban legend. Anyway, so the article says, which I'm not going to read the whole thing due to all the copyrights and whatnot. The move is a startling one that comes as peer state competitors equipped with many types of aerial threats and in great capacities are dominating. Dude, they actually end operations June 4th, 2022, and they're like, get out. Get your stuff. We don't want to see you again. Leave. And they have L-159s, A4s, and Mirage F1s. And as you know, they've had some problems with the Mirages. And that's both Draken and ATAC. They've had mishaps, one unfortunately being fatal and one being pretty nasty. But they don't say that that's the reason. In fact, they don't even give a reason. They're just like, you're out. So as we've talked about on the channel, we love to speculate on things. And that's what I'd like to do today. Slightly. This article is way too long to read. I just gave.
Hey, that's what I thought when you sent it to me. Actually.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so they have this thing about they're going to field aggressors, adversary air, and stuff. And I will say, from experience, the contractors do provide extra jets, right? They give you a force multiplier. It's cheaper for the government, even though they spent like $3 or $4 billion on it. It's cheaper for the government because they don't have to pay for retirements. They don't have to pay for, BAH. They don't have to pay life insurance policies, SGLI, all that stuff. Like, they actually get a cheaper presentation, and they're trying to upgrade them. Draken bought Vipers. Top Aces bought Vipers, although from what I understand, they upgraded these Vipers and still can't get it approved to actually use yet. So
Perfect.
there's some bureaucracy going on there. But this was interesting, and I can't find the article that actually tied the two together, so I'm just going to tie them together myself. There was another article that Frenchie sent me. Thank you, Frenchie. That basically said that it could be because of this. Drones could be key to solving one of the Air Force's biggest training challenges. Using low-cost drones may finally give the Air Force a way to simulate a mass of advanced 5th-gen fighters and training exercises. And that's interesting to me because, everybody's like, dude, the day of the fighter pilot is over. We're going to have drones. And then here they are. And these little guys right here are known as Fury over the next 12 months, a critical design review. So they're not, I don't know how the timing works out because I don't think in June these things will be ready. Now, they did say as well, they are beefing up the 64th and 65th with more Vipers. In fact, a reserve unit is supposed to stand up there. I know because I tried to apply and was unsuccessful. But they're also standing up the early F-35s, the ones that can't fly in Lightning because they have no Lightning protection, even though they're called the Lightning. Are they called the Lightning? The Lightning II? Will be adversary drones, or adversary jets, not drones, Red Air. So they'll use them as Red Air for 5th-gen representation. So it's interesting that they're still going to be there. They're just not using these contractors. And this Blue Force technology, it's run by Andrew Van Timmeren, and I think he's actually contacted me. I think I actually owe him an email. But this is what they're doing. They're basically going to simulate 5th-gen threats and then let the dogfighting part be done by the 64th aggressor. It says Draken, but obviously that's not going to happen now, at least not at Nellis. Now, this is just Nellis. This is not, Kelly or Tyndall or all the other places that have Red Air, they're still getting Vipers. This is still going to happen. It's just Nellis, but Nellis is still a big contract. That's the, Red Flag is there, all the exercises, test, the weapon school's there. They do large force exercises for that. It's kind of a big deal, but I just thought it was interesting that now with technology moving this way, is this not the precursor to having the loyal wingman? Like you test it as Red Air, you work out all the bugs, and then all of a sudden you're using this in a Blue Force concept. What say you, my guest?
You sent me that article and I was shocked because this is the first time I've ever heard about the military making a huge move without a plan past their idea. So in other words, this is a first. Like, this is breaking news. If this doesn't get 1 billion views, you are groundbreaking, the first time ever that the U.S. government made a decision about tactical air training without actually thinking it through in the long run.
Hold on. I've got to read the disclaimer now. Views presented are my own or my guests and do not represent the views of the DoD or its components.
That's great. Look, from a safety aspect and training and from a technology aspect, absolutely, man. That looks really cool. Load up that dude's drones on a lead's wing and go nuts. But if it's not there by June 4th, there's going to be a degradation in training. So what's the plan?
Well, they're going to have the Nellis guys do it. The 60.
Sure, I'm sure they can. Dude, let's be honest. These contractors have taken a huge load of the amount of flying, and you're going to turn it off that quick. When was that article written?
The 7th, which is the 16th anniversary of me commissioning.
Oh, congrats. So you gave them less than 2 months notice. I'm not saying you gave them less than 2 months notice, but it breaks less than 2 months.
You bring up a good point. I feel bad for the dudes flying the contract because they're fighter pilots, right? These aren't just like random, like they have families. They decided, hey, I'm going to live at Nellis because there's full-timers. Yep. I'm not going to go to the airlines and do this, or I'm taking some time away from my airline job. Like they plan their lives around this with, because at one point it was $3 or $4 billion, and they're like, well, we're never gonna, money's raining, it's never gonna end, and this is awesome. We're gonna put everything here at Nellis, and then one day it's like, hey guys, if you don't get out by June, security forces is gonna kick you out. The end. See
Well,
you
because we
later.
need room for our $1 billion F-35 fighter to do the same job. What?
Well, I
Come on.
mean,
Come on.
yeah, I forget which article it was, but it's like, this one was too long. I can't even find it, so to speak. It said that, well, an F-22 pilot needs a different, a starting out F-22 pilot needs a different adversary than a starting out F-16 pilot. And I looked at that and I'm like, a starting out F-22 pilot gets an adversary called the T-38A from 1962. That's what I used to do, right? I was the T-38A. So all they needed was something to target and sort. The F-16, on the other hand, when I was in the B course, we actually fought against other F-16s. And the reason that the F-22 can't do that is because the cost per flying hour is so high. You can't put up a 4-ship of red air against a 4-ship of blue air because it's cost prohibitive. You need 10, 12, you need multiples of that, and you just don't have enough airplanes, and it's not cost effective. That's why the T-38 exists, because it's budget dust, because, it costs $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 an hour for the government. Now, if you buy it on, if it's civilian, it's more than that, but it's low cost to give them the problems that they need to solve, because they don't need to solve the 5th gen problem. They don't need to solve, the most advanced stuff, because look at Ukraine. They have like 4 operational Su-57s, and none of them are being used in this. I mean, what's the threat? So, yeah, and they are using ATAC, and ATAC's flying the Mirage, the F1. They have. I've come out with the L-159s from Draken. They've come out and supported us and stuff, and it's about being able to create that representation so that the kids get training and then can build off of that for more advanced stuff later, versus in an F-16B course, you're just fighting against, some IPs. The IPs are same thing at the RAG, right? At the RAG, who's your support? The F-5s, Red Air Hornets, or other Super Hornets?
That's it.
Right? I mean, that's what it is. So, I don't know, man. I thought it was just an interesting, like, immediate, like, shocking thing. Like, oh, well, this is done. I'm curious to see what the result is going to be and what the desired outcome is. I don't think Draken's going to be all that affected, because I think they'll just bid on something else. And
Draken, the difference is Draken's worldwide. They're a business.
Right. That's
They're
true.
smart.
Yeah.
They don't have all their eggs in one basket. They're probably laughing at this because, frankly, you know what's going to happen? The Air Force is going to fail, and then they're going to go crawling back to Draken. And if Draken was smart, they'd be like, sure, we'll give you another contract, slightly inflated due to the new inflation rates.
It's like the Taken, and for that, the rate just went up 10%. And for that, the rate just went up 10%.
Yep. And you know what?
Who pays for that? The taxpayer.
Good for them for doing it, because this is ridiculous.
Well, I mean, I guess to me, all that infrastructure that they built, the support facilities, the support staff, they got to have maintenance, they got to have people the life support, all the extra stuff beyond just the pilots. I mean, those are all people that were like, I want to live here.
Yep.
It's not a cheap place to live.
Here to support this mission.
And
Maybe
it's not a cheap place to live. It's not, I mean, this is not the economy that you can just kick somebody to the street and say, oh, well, they'll be okay. I mean, this is kind of, it's tough from the human aspect, but I'm curious to see how it works out, because, the whole mission of Draken and ATAC is to supplement and then support, and they were doing these amazing upgrades to try to get more capability and to do more of what the government was asking for.
Yep.
But at the end of the day, it's like, okay, well, they're just like, yep, guys, see ya. There's no loyalty here. Not that I think there should be. I mean, the contracting process is the contracting process, but
sure,
it just seems a little abrupt. Seems a little sudden. And again, does not represent the opinions of the DoD, NASA, SpaceX. SpaceX is cool. SpaceX wants to take me to space. I'll go right now. Won't even ask a question. You want to go to space too? Can you fit in space?
Easy. Space
You
is an
can't fit.
infinite.
You can't fit in an A4, but you want to go to space.
There's no bounds to space. How can anybody not fit?
You got to get there somehow. You're gonna go in the little Jeff Bezos
Nah,
phallic-shaped rocket. You
that's a
can't
piece
fit
of
in that.
cake.
You can't
Tons
fit in
of
that.
thrust.
You can't fit in that. You need a much bigger phallus
That's fine.
for your rocket. Okay. All right. So that answers the first question on the mover mailbag. We did that in all of 14 minutes, thus ending the title card. Let's see what the kids at home have been saying since we do that. Tim says wombat. Marcel says tomcats. Let's see. I read mover 5x5. Is the Mustang broken down yet? You don't have enough miles on it to break it down.
It's fine. I took it out the other day.
The Rattler sounds like the worst Batman villain.
I'll take that.
Let's see. Everyone living their TLDR life these days. Yeah, it's
So
just,
true.
It's just too many words, man. Too many
So
words.
true.
That was just a lot of words in one thing.
It was. I sat down. I was having lunch with my son. I was like, let me read this real quick. And I was like, my God, it just keeps going.
It just kept going. And eventually you've got to stop. Why would Draken ever bid another USAF contract? It's
because
called
they
money.
like money.
Because of money. Yeah. Because they get very wealthy off of things. Yeah, see. Oh, sorry, that was a Hawkeye question. Does the radar dome on the Hawkeye act as another lift service?
What do you think, Mover?
Do I look like a scientist?
You're a fighter
Yeah,
pilot.
I think it does. It's like a helicopter.
Nope.
Okay.
Absolutely zero lift or drag. It's completely neutral. It's not even actually attached to the plane.
They like money, and the USAF can be a cash cow, especially if you want to work for the elite. Who is the elite?
We are.
Oh, here we go. I'm worried about my own company that supports contract ad air. Draken has many more clients, but I'm sure this was one of their largest. It's true. It really
the
is.
ripple effect is massive.
Yeah. Hey, Mover, any good news? Nope. Only bad news here.
Wow.
only the worst of news. Only the worst of news. Oh, here we go. Metal Man, Aya. Make sure we put the man in Mania. The man. You're looking cute today.
That's because I actually got some sleep.
Can the Hawkeye fly okay on one engine?
Define okay.
Define one engine.
Yeah, it can. I mean, it's not awesome.
Ideal cast for a Spectre Mover series.
The ones that pay the most.
Margot Robbie. Next question.
Yes.
That's it.
Wait, isn't she the one that's going to be Sandy in the Treason Flight movie, though?
She can do multiple movies. I mean, she did multiple movies. She's done multiple movies.
That's true.
They're not in the same universe.
That's true.
All right. Anyway, back to I actually do have mover mailbag questions.
Yeah.
Here, so let me get to that. Christian, fresh off the thing, so to speak. Hello. I'm one big fan of your channel. I think there's a lot of value on each video you upload, except this one. I can't say I've watched all of them, but I saw many for sure. To be exact, my favorite one is one of the recent ones where you told your history about your first time flying in a propeller airplane. I was very amazed, and it really touched my heart learning why your father gave you experience as a gift. I'm currently working on a story about a character who loves aviation, and when I ask myself, why does she love aviation? I don't know how to describe it. I really love aviation, though. I might never fly any military plane in my life because I live in a country without a single military plane. But I grew up with Ace Combat, DCS, and War Thunder games. Also with Pearl Harbor, Top Gun, and other aviation movies. So I know about it. I'm learning how to fly the F-16 and DCS using its manual. Whoa. But I can't answer why I love aviation. I just love it. I have no way to describe that feeling. I'm an architect. Every time I think about my job, I feel like I'm in the wrong place. Mr. Lemoyne, it's clear to me. You love aviation probably even more than I do. Plus, you had the opportunity to fly the F-16 and F-18 and more. And this is highlighted. So, I would like to ask you, why do you love aviation so much? Could you tell me what it is like for you? If I have to think about it, it's like the snow. Many hate it, and it's hard to endure because it causes more trouble than good, but I love it. It's beautiful. Same with aviation. I bet pulling G's isn't comforting, and maybe dressing must be more a hustle than fun, But I see the beauty beyond that. And for me, is a mix of feelings that I can't describe, feelings that I can't experience in person. 10K feet above the ground, right up on the sky. I hope you can answer my humble question. Thank you very much in advance.
Clearly, that was written by somebody who writes.
Yeah. Yeah. There was some writing involved because he's writing a thing.
Well, I meant, yeah, writing like a book or a story or something.
Why do you love aviation, Wombat? Do you even love aviation?
I love it. It started from a young age when I had bills to pay, and I knew to pay those bills, I needed a skill set. No, I don't know. I fell into aviation. We've talked about this before.
Yeah, we
100%
have
fell
to.
into it. I never went to
Oh, yeah.
air shows as a kid. And I mean, my parents worked. I didn't have time. And I just fell into it. And I mean, I think I've told the story, didn't I? At
Yeah, we
college.
did an interview. We did the whole thing.
Yeah.
We told your whole story.
And it was just dumb luck to fall into it. And it's been pretty awesome. And it's, I've enjoyed it. It's been cool.
Alpaca Man has now called you out because you need to stop being combative. Coffee. Wombat. God.
What about
I
that
will
was
say,
combative?
look, listen. First of all, you feel like you're better than everybody else because you're above them. You're like peasant. They're ants.
Feel like
Second,
it or know it?
You are. I mean, you're just better. Second, it's like driving a race car, dude. I mean, it's like a challenge, and you're like, oh, I did something today. Like, I used to remember, you'd have a hard day at BFM, and you'd be like, I pulled 9Gs today. That was pretty cool, Yeah. And now I'm like, God, I pulled 9Gs when I was 25. Jesus, that neck hurts now.
Yeah, it still hurts.
Oh, it does. I don't know. I mean, it's just something you get a passion for. Why does anyone love anything? I will tell you this though, having not flown a military aircraft since January, my passion is more for aviation and flying different things and just the experience of it all and sharing that passion than it is any particular type of flying.
Sure.
It's not like, military, it's aviation in general versus, I got to be a fighter pilot or I've got to go have a mission or whatever. And that's been a big realization for me because, now that it's gone, it's nice to know that it's not just myopic. It's not just, the one thing and that's it. Because I loved aviation before I even started. And honestly, the government side of things can tend to burn you out. You can take something you love and make it a job and find out how quickly you don't love it anymore.
Sure. I think the thing about aviation, and I like your answer because it's very true, because I've watched you now transition through this phase, and I'm happy that you have that passion.
Somebody breaking into your house?
Yeah, I think so. Have that passion for aviation because it keeps you more flexible. Like I have found with mine, you kind of joke like, do I even like aviation? Well, I do. But where I would say my passion is in the teaching. Like that's where I really enjoy. I really enjoy that individual, that crew, whoever it is, that just nobody else can get through, but I can weed out all the BS and give them the big picture and it clicks. I mean, to me, that's why I wake up, other than to do these. So I wake up to do these and then also to teach aviation. So and that's what I think is cool about that field and a lot of fields is that there's so many different avenues in it to where I have friends that are like, oh God, I could never teach. Like that would drive me nuts, and I'm like, well, good, because I couldn't do what you do. So it just.
Yeah. And I mean, not to get into it, but that was going to be the next phase of my military career was teaching.
It's not over.
That part is.
Well, but there's other parts, right?
Well,
so
yeah. Well, I mean, you got to move on to other things at some point. So, but yeah, I love aviation, and that's one of the things that I look to do, to share as part of this channel, as part of the vlog, is opportunities to fly cool things, and go experience new adventures with aviation that aren't necessarily tied to. It's got to be one certain mission or it's got to be current, modern, all that stuff. So, it's just a different.
Or nude?
Nude. Yes, nude.
Nude. Okay.
For sure.
So we are going OnlyFans.
Mankini, at the very least, like Borat. Please don't Manchester me. Liverpool. Liverpool. You can't Manchester me. Yeah. Anyway, back to the questions. Let's see what else
This
we got
just
here.
became way more lucrative for you.
Yeah, dude. Everybody wants to see my feet. All right. Here's Jeff. I have a question, hoping you might be able to answer with your experience in the T-38. Like so many, I've been keeping an eye to the east to the ongoing conflict in Ukraine. That said, well, wait a minute. How do we know it's east? It could be west. That said, I find referring to the news, that's his quotes, not mine, for any real info is pointless and have instead kept an eye on Flight Radar 24 to sort of paint a picture, knowing full well it isn't a complete picture. Currently, at 9:30 Eastern Time, there are pointy noses in the air from Tejas and over to Sweden. In terms of U.S. exercise, it seems a lot of T-38s and Texans. In Europe, there are Swedish trainers, a couple of F-15s out of England, not to mention the surveillance aspect near Ukraine and Moldova at the same time. Without speculation, would you speak to what's going on from a strategy standpoint? Are there exercises more than other times? Are we flexing on Putin? Perhaps China, show of force, seems like 3D chess, but I'm a desk jockey that's looking at flight radar. I don't pretend to have the answers. Thanks for the insight and humor that you bring. It's a good thing he said about the humor thing. So
Yeah, because insight.
I don't, well, he said without speculation, so that's the end.
Yeah.
That's the whole question. I don't have anything else to add
Can
to
I?
that.
Well, I'll say something without speculating on that.
Say it. You say it.
Could it be
Say it.
that it's
Say
always
it.
been going on, but people are looking for it? So here's my
Say
point. The other day, I drove a Tesla.
Did
While
you really?
driving that Tesla.
Was it that guy that emailed me?
No.
I need to email him back. Crap, I forgot to email him back.
Well, you're welcome. So I
if you're
drove a
watching,
Tesla for
I'll
the
do
first
that.
time, and while I was driving it, I saw what felt like dozens of Teslas. Is it that they all just came out that day? No, it's
Yeah,
that I was
yeah.
looking for it. So with this stuff, a lot
it's
of the
like
things, 'cause I
Autobots
get these
roll out,
questions
dude. When you
too.
drive a Tesla, they all
They come. They. Well, it is a bad analogy, but is it that this has always been going on, but now we're looking because it's in the news and stuff like that? You know, I don't
I can
know.
tell you the volume of T-38 traffic has nothing to do with U.S. strategy.
I hope
either
not.
because a training base is behind PFT and they need to get sorties like ASAP because they've weather canceled so many days. You know, most fighters don't even show up. Like all flight radar is showing you is ADS-B return. So whether the mode S is on or not.
Yeah.
So, I mean, half the time you're not seeing anything. So I would say don't read into flight radar. And I see this a lot, and it really drives me nuts. I'll see like somebody on Twitter, like they'll track a flight radar thing and be like, you know, this C-17 was here. What does it mean? And it could mean something like what was in. Did you see the news the other day where a C-130 went to Martha's Vineyard just to pick up a motorcycle, and those dudes are in trouble?
What kind of motorcycle?
The one.
Is
Tom
it weird
Cruise
that
drove,
that's what I
probably.
care about out of that story?
It's probably a. Wouldn't it suck if it's like a 250 or something, a little small
Yeah.
crotch rocket or something?
A
Training bike.
Vespa. Like I needed
Yeah.
a Vespa for my
It's a
debt in Key
moped.
West.
All right. So how much better exactly was it being a fighter pilot in the 80s than it is now?
Well, back when I
I
was
was
being a fighter
7.
pilot. In the
Yeah, I
80s.
was 7 at the end of the 80s. So
Yeah, I was 9, 10. So my guess
hey,
is
how do you buy that stuff that you made me show? Somebody just asked
message
that.
me for now, but it'll be on the website.
What website?
My
www.org.gov.
That website. Eventually, it's going to go up. I'm working on it. These are extremely small batches of
Mail
things.
a letter, handwritten note to T.R. Matson,
You
312
can do
Crosstown Road. Yeah. Okay. Back to the how you doing. All right. Tim says Wombat is right on the money here.
God, you know, Tim, I never get sick of hearing that.
Why is
Wait, what
Wombat?
was the
I
rest
said
of
that. I said that though. That was me. Everyone is an OSINT expert, and everyone tries to analyze flight paths.
No, I think I said it. I think it was me. Tim's right.
Yeah.
Tell the people what they want to hear, Mover.
Can you fit a motorcycle in an E2?
Sure you can.
Can
You
an
have
E2
three
take off on a
Anacos back
treadmill?
there.
Can an E2 take off on a treadmill?
Dude, did you see that on Twitter?
Of course, it's always that's like the oldest stupid thing in the world.
Oh
Back
my
to
God.
the
But the funny
back to
part
the-
was when pilots were like giving real answers.
People are stupid. People are
They're
stupid.
not.
All right, here we go. I think we've had this question about 6.9 thousand times. Mover, huge fan. Watched all your reaction videos. I love all the reaction videos you do, especially firsthand knowledge of actual flight techniques. I love the banter along with Gonky. What about the pre-flight? Why is Gonky always the immediate
Dude,
thing people go to? When you watch videos and pilots just jump in an aircraft and take off. My question is, when there is an alert and aircrafts
oof, delete. Somebody's triggered.
are scrambled, are pre-flights done as well? I watched your F-18 cockpit start up and it seemed to take about 16 minutes. But I've heard and read that aircraft scrambled. For, let's say, an aircraft in a no-fly zone, they seem to be in the air in less than 5 minutes. It's called alert, and the term is hot cock. Ooh. And I'm not making that up. Doesn't require so to speak, because that's the term.
That's not what the Navy calls it, but...
What do they call it?
I don't know. We don't have terms
hot
for
cock,
things.
Dude. It's hot cock, dude.
Maybe it is.
Hot cocked. Anyway, I probably just got demonetized because of that. So
now please donate to Mover because this video got demonetized.
Use the super chat because they're not showing ads on this one anymore. So the hot cocking is done.
So a question like that, can I make a point on that? So on a normal sortie, right? I just want people to, and I like these questions, but like take a moment, right? And think through things. So on a normal sortie, it took you, according to that guy, 16 minutes from the time you got to the jet to get airborne, right?
That's correct.
And that was a training sortie in a T-38.
Oh, no, it wasn't T-38. No, this was Hornet.
Oh, either way, still a training sortie.
No, don't you put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby.
Still a training sortie.
Don't do it.
So from a common sense standpoint, right?
Common sense.
If we have this weapon system ready to go in a moment's notice to attack an adversary, don't you think we've already looked at everything and done everything? Because what you don't want to do is hop in that and be like, you know what would be really cool right now is a radar. So all of that stuff is done. I mean, I remember Gonky telling me when I was flying the Hawkeye and got the transition to the Hornet about a time when he was doing an Alert 5 on the carrier. And he's like, I was 10 minutes from being done with my 2-hour alert and they launched us. And he goes, dude, I was airborne before I realized that I was awake. And I had that happen to me in the Hornet too. Like sitting there, you're reading a book, everything's running, you get called away, and it's like fired up and go, and your brain is not there yet at all. Yeah. You're airborne, and you're like, well, I'm glad the trim was set off the catapult because at least I'm going up.
Look how nice Tim is.
Tim's great.
I do need
I'm a big fan of Tim. You know what Tim should do is start a YouTube channel because that's what everybody tells me. So, which I'm not.
Who would? Okay, well, that was a great discussion. Really appreciate your words.
I just want people to think through things.
So here's one. I'm not going to read it, but I'll say this. This was to the Mover Mailbag. It was from Luke. I got your email about pilot eligibility with a history of some medical stuff. I was able to send that off to my flight surgeon friend, and she should be able to get in touch with you directly. So, and anytime you guys have some medical stuff, usually I'll forward that to an expert because I don't know anything about medicine. I'm not a doctor, didn't stay at a Holiday Inn. So if I can help you, I will do my best. And that's part of, yes, we do have fun, but I'll try to help. I'll try to answer questions and do stuff. And, there it is. Anyway, this is a question for you, Wombat.
Yes.
A few years back, the U.S. Navy and Air Force...
from your Mover Mailbag?
Yeah, dude. Well, it doesn't say to you, but I don't know the answer because this is Navy stuff.
Okay, hold on. I'm ready.
What are you doing? Hold on, I can't see you. Okay, got it. You're constipated now. A few years back, the United States Navy and Air Force were looking for a new light attack aircraft. The T-45 was developed from the BAE Hawk trainer, which was a secondary fighter attack role in other countries. I think the requirement is less now, but why couldn't the Navy simply develop the Goshawk into a light attack aircraft rather than spending tons of money on a brand new aircraft? I'm asking on a technical operational level, not politics. Sounds like the answer is politics.
Because A, it didn't have the ability to carry as much as you would want it to since we threw all those heavy landing gear on it for the aircraft carrier. B, single engine not, I don't want to say prone to compressor stalls, but
F-35.
yeah, well, C, loiter time was garbage.
Oh, so you
And
actually know the answer
D,
to this question.
most of your pilots would end up hypoxic due to the issues they had with that. So
Okay. All right. All right.
it was a phenomenal aircraft to train. It would provide zero use, in my opinion, in anything other than training, which is why, honestly, I think it was so good at training.
Like a T-38.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Metal Man says that's $50 to the retirement home. It's nice.
Man, today's economy, that'll get you far.
Yeah, it's like $4.59. What are your thoughts on the Chinese Eastern flight that nosedived and crashed into a mountainous area? What could have caused that? Is the Accident Investigation Board report out yet? I don't know. I'm not an investigator. I don't know. I don't speculate until I only just read them to you and then tell you what it means.
It's sad.
Yeah, it's sad.
Happened quick.
How Mover. Thanks for all your content. Now you're starting to echo. See, you're echoing. You should wear your earbuds. I'm not an aviator by any means, just a classical musician. I'm curious what drives you to create all this free content for us when the idea started. Gonky.
Yeah.
Gonky.
You did it for the fame and fortune, but then realized neither of those are available.
No. The whole thing was Gonky. Gonky said you need to interact with your book fans. And I said, they don't care. He's like, you should start a channel. And I said, well, I'll do it about cars. And then nobody cared about the cars.
No.
And then it just happened. I told my story of how I became a fighter pilot, and then all the youngins were like, oh, you're just an average dude and you can become a fighter pilot? Yeah, I was like, make them tell you no. And then that became a thing. And then there we go.
That's interesting. Am I still echoing? I'm sorry that I am.
It's me echoing off of you, so I don't hear it anymore.
Oh, okay. I turned you down, so speak up.
Hello. Love the channel. Johnny Rad says thanks. Thank you, Johnny Rad. Josh says, I'm in the process of trying to become a pilot in the UK. Would you say that if I don't make it in the UK, it's worth a shot in the US? Hope you're good. You got to be a US citizen. You got to be a US citizen. I think you got to do it for the right reasons. And here's why. If serving your country is not your primary goal, there are much better ways to make a living flying airplanes.
Well, but he's just saying a pilot. He's not saying a military pilot.
Oh, you're right. My bad. See,
there are other pilots out there. Uber.
That's true. That's true. In that case, if you're only wanting to be an airline pilot, I would do it exclusively in the U.S. because in Europe is nothing like what you'll get paid. Nothing. I would 100% do it all in the U.S. I was talking military, serving your country.
Shocking.
If you just, I mean, I was set up. Hi, Mover. Not sure if my previous message, red leather, yellow leather, went through. Question is, have you ever flown any intercept missions in the Hornet? No, because I was Red Air. I intercepted people as Red Air, but I never did any.
Well,
you
did. Flew intercept missions.
As Red Air.
That's still an intercept mission. It's just the other side of it.
I think he's talking about the Tu-95s are coming across, and you got to go take a picture of them and flip them off.
Well, if it's that, I mean, I did that in E2. That's not that big of a deal.
Well, you wrote a book about it, too.
That's true.
It's called Treason Flight. trmatson.com.org.gov. Dude, I totally read that as Mike's Milfair. It was just...
Do we have to... We're not going to change this to Mover needs a date, are we? Is that...
No, I don't need a date. I'm fine. Thank you. I'm good. I'm well prepared. Daniel says, hey, Mover, great mailbag and opening topic. Is there anything we can do to help you get back into a pointy jet? One day, you guys will, let's just say things have not been going well lately. It's been now we're not even talking about pointy jet. We're just talking things have not been going well. And that's all I can say right now.
But they'll get better. You're either up or getting up, remember?
You're never down, never out. It's part of the, what is it? Was it this thing that's for sale? Hold on. Okay. Never down, never out. trmatson.com.
We don't have to make fun of it. It's just
That's
basically...
not making fun of it. I had to read it in a voice. You can't just... Great channel. Been infatuated with Navy flying ever since I saw Top Gun when I was 8. Grew up in San Diego. Love the NAS and now MCAS air shows. Did you ever do a demo at an air show? I didn't. Gonky was a demo pilot, wasn't he? Yeah.
I did a flyover at an A&M game once.
I've done a bunch of flyovers, yeah.
Yeah. Mine was impromptu. I didn't know about it because I was a student. It's a very interesting story. It's back when the military was less constricted. But the my instructor when I was going through T-45s in Kingsville was an Aggie as well. And so we did a cross-country flight and part of a training flight. And he said, all right, man, I was in the front. He's like, you got the aircraft and the radios. I'm going to be off for a second. Bring us down low. And he got on his cell phone with an earbud and was talking to a friend in the stadium and coordinated the flyover for an A&M game impromptu.
Like for a national anthem?
What's that?
Was it for the national anthem? Or
yeah.
Did you actually hit the timing?
As close, close enough for not knowing you were going to do it. It was pretty cool. And then we landed and they brought us on the field and we went to the...
My most pathetic flyover story. I like to talk about this one. Because it was across country and we got stuck. We were going from Homestead to... we're echoing again. Homestead to Fort Worth. We got into some kind of monsoon in Fort Worth. And my wingman's jet had some flickus problems. And we were like, dude, if we can just get going, because it was pouring down raining, we'll it'll work itself out. So he got it good enough to go fly. We take off. We go fly to Dover because we're doing the Dover NASCAR race.
What plane is this?
The Viper.
Okay.
We as we land, he gets a brake malfunction, has a taxi clear, gets towed off. His jet is like hard broke. And this is a flyover like on September 28th, end of the fiscal year. So they're like, okay, well, it's just going to be you doing the flyover. So me, single ship, in a Viper. He goes and meets, and oh, by the way, my buddy T-Bear, the national anthem singer, was some famous country music chick, Jessie James. And my buddy had talked to her dad, and she was like, oh, I can't wait to meet him, oh, it'll be so great, and I'm like, dude, this is my chance. I'm going to get out of the military. I'm going to be a made man. Yep. This is going to be it. And so I go do this flyby, and I'm waiting, and apparently she got a little nervous when she was singing because they said, oh, it takes her about 1:28 to sing this national anthem. And all I hear on the radio is, dude, you better go fast because she's singing in a hurry. So she sang it in 1:12. So
luckily, the Viper is equipped for something like that.
Oh, it is. But when you're one airplane, dude, I was in full burner going across the stadium, and it was just like, nobody. They're like, was that the flyby? Because it's just one little Viper by itself. And so I turned around, and because you had to turn back around to like 90 off to go back to the field, because I was trying to get back to the field so I could go meet her.
Yeah.
I hit a bird. I hit a bird like right off the canopy and off the Lex, and I'm like, oh God. So I land, and I'm sitting there looking at it, and you can see bird guts all over the side of the plane. I'm like, this jet's down. Oh, it doesn't matter. I get in the U-Drive, I drive over there, I get to the stadium, I get to the suite, and I'm like, oh, where is she? I'm like, oh, she just left. She was asking about you too, but she left. She had to go somewhere else.
She's going to hear this. She's been single since that day, just
she has
hoping.
Not. No, she like Reggie Bush. She like married. She's on the NutraSweet, NutraSlim commercials these days. I'm pretty sure. Anyway, so because it was the end of the fiscal year, they couldn't afford to send anybody to fix it. We got stuck there for like 10 days at Dover until they could get a rescue team to get enough funds. And oh, by the way, that was some eastern seaboard like hurricane came through, so they couldn't, like, it hit Florida, then came up to Dover, hit Dover and stuff. We were there for almost 2 weeks because a hurricane, and they couldn't get enough money to come get us. before finally they fixed the jet and allowed us to come home. It was pretty
Wow.
embarrassing. Yeah. And then I found $5. Anyway, back to the... she married Eric Decker. There's your answer.
Super.
Yeah.
Well, I hope they're happy.
Yeah. Anyway, back to these things, because that's the
This
thing.
has completely gone off the rails.
It always does, man. It always does. All right, here we go. This is from Dana. Dana, no. Hi, Mover. Massive fan of the channel, and I look forward to soon reading your books. Just wanted to quickly tell you my story. 5 years ago today, I had been out of the Marines for 4 years, was trying to get my weight under control, get a private pilot license, and felt really sad at air shows because other people were in the air having fun and I was stuck on the ground. Fast forwarded now, I'm back in the Marine Corps, which required getting an age waiver signed by the Commandant of Aviation, a 3-star. Have my private pilot's license, and this afternoon, I completed primary flight training in Milton, Florida, and was selected for jets. Soon I'll be off to Kingsville for intermediate and advanced strike training in the T-45. You've been a constant YouTube companion during my journey and have provided an immense level of motivation. For that, I cannot thank you enough. Continue with the amazing work. Thank you again. God bless, and make them tell you no. Awesome.
That's why you do it. That answers your question from before.
I had nothing to do with that. I have nothing to do with that. That's
yeah,
all.
you did. Your motivation.
That's nothing to me. Can you react to the flight scenes in the first episode of Jag? Especially the one where the Jag lawyer piloted the Tomcat from the back seat. I tell you, having dealt with Jags now, they don't know anything about airplanes. I don't know.
Especially not airplanes with flight controls in the back seat.
No, they don't know anything about. Hey, no kidding. It's Jesse James' birthday today. Be damn. Happy birthday.
This is it. This is it. The world's aligning.
No, the world is
I like
not
it.
aligning.
I like where this is going, man. I do. Yeah. This is positive vibes. Never down, never out.
Let's see. What else we got here? Anyway, back to this question. Yeah, sure. Jag was one of my favorite. Catherine Bell. Remember Catherine Bell?
Yeah, I think as long as she was in it, that show could have been about shopping carts, and you would have watched it.
Yeah, anything. I watched that as a wee lad, as a teen boy. It was quite the yeah. Motivating teacher that better keep you around. And no, they're not. No. Nope. I mean, for me, I would like to fly the fighter aircraft, but since UK has so few jets, I was wondering about other options such as US flight.
Who cares if they don't have a lot of jets? Be one of the ones who flies them, period.
Nailed it. Never down, never out.
Somebody's got to fly it.
That's right. Catherine Bell still has it going on, according to Tim. What has she been in? I haven't seen her in anything lately. Oh, she's on the Hallmark Channel. That's why I don't know what she's. I have to ask somebody much older than me what she's on, because I don't watch. The Jag lawyer was a Tomcat pilot. Yeah, he had night blindness. And
it'll get you.
It'll get you, because NVGs. I do believe the 80s and 90s, the culture was more fun. Yeah.
More permissive, less cell phones.
At what point does age factor in? Too old to train on the 35. The young kids need your Viper. What?
I don't 100% understand that question.
Are we talking about me? I don't know. So age is a factor, for commissioning, right? 32 or 33, or Navy or Air Force. For me personally, it's more about rank and years of service remaining, which I got plenty. I could do. That's not my issue right now at all. So that's not the thing. Did you take your private pilot training near your hometown, possibly even with Steve Ahart? No, I did not. What about you?
I took an equivalency test.
Why did you take an equivalency test?
I didn't have any licenses until
Oh, you did the yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's why I keep all my CFI, MEI, CFIIs current, because if they ever fail, I'll never pass that.
What?
Hey, man, whatever. It's 2022. She could be in whatever she wants. Who cares?
Well, I'm just saying. I mean, that's just a bad experience. That's
Yeah, I mean, it's fine.
it's just
She hasn't
sad.
met you yet. Don't worry about it. Life can turn around. We can change things. Don't sweat.
Okay, here you go. Can Wombat make backlight himself more? We can't see him at all. Yeah, dude, you need to get your lighting fixed, and your whole program needs just attitude adjustment. There you go. Mood lighting. At Mover and Wombat, what fighter jet or weapon system technology are you both looking forward to?
Something with a snack tray, maybe
Nothing.
auto
I don't care.
trim.
I don't care. I'm not looking forward to any jet or weapon system technology. If I can't fly it, it doesn't really do much for me. Oh, here we
Well,
go.
that was positive.
That was positive. Sorry, I meant at what point do services decide you're too old for the JSF and they need your Viper for the young guys?
I don't think
When
they
does
do.
a fighter pilot get phased out? I know guys that have flown into their 50s. So, I mean, 50s. If you had to kiss the guy that played Hard Marab, you wouldn't want dudes either. What's wrong with Harm?
Yeah. Speak for yourself,
just
SP.
getting mean. Yeah, come on. Jeez.
Don't tell me what I like.
Yeah, you're not the boss of me. If money wasn't an issue, what decommissioned fighter trainer would you own? A Hornet.
Yeah.
Hornet was a good cross-country machine, dude. And you got 2 engines.
Yeah.
Viper's
agree.
nice, but you could put a whole suitcase behind you in the Hornet. Or in, what is it, 14L? What's the front one? 13L? Is it 13 or 14?
14, I think.
Whichever one, I mean, you could put all kinds of stuff anywhere. You didn't even need a travel pod. As a pilot yourself, when you fly an airliner as a passenger, do you judge the pilot on landing and takeoff? No, I sleep. In fact, I fall asleep taking the runway, and that's it. Will you fly with Ward Carroll in DCS now that he announced he's playing? No.
Can we not anchor down on that? We're just going to skip the rest of that? No. Okay.
What? No. Do you guys visit the bathroom before walking out for flight? Yes. I'm finally keeping up with the comments. I'm just excited that I'm finally in line with what the people want. Hey, Wombat and Mover. Have you guys ever heard of Vocal Air Base in the Netherlands?
I bet it's amazing.
Yes. Yes. Hey, Mover, what? Oh, well, I thought Mover would go to the boneyard and buy an eagle. How much money do you guys think I have?
So little.
It's not that. It's not
So
that.
little.
It's not that. I can tell you. I did the math the other day. We were talking about that. I'm like, I could fly a 4-day trip at the airline and make more money than I'm making an entire month doing this. It's not about the money, folks. Mover, what's your dream plane you haven't flown yet? A-10. What about you, Wombat?
Probably an A-10. I'd love to fly that, honestly.
Are Hornet pilots friendly in real life compared to DCS?
No.
I don't. Compared to DCS people? DCS people can be mean in the comment section, dude.
Can
They'll hurt
they?
your feelings.
They've been mean to me.
They will hurt your feelings.
I know.
Wombat needs the mustache. Why F-22 Raptor is not for sale? Because they made 187 of them. Will you do any fighter pilot meme Fridays? No. Have you tried the EC-145? I have, actually. The problem with Microsoft Flight Sim is I don't know how to stream it on Twitch, because when you're in VR, it makes the 2 little circles. And I don't know how to... That's the gesture for put it on Twitch. When did you get to fly the L-39? 2004?
You flew one?
I got about 10 hours in them.
Oh, good for you.
There was a lawyer, when I was in college, there was a lawyer down in Homa that had an L-39.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. I flew it from the back seat, so. Here we go. Hello there. Pretty new to the channel, and I love it. Keep entertaining us. Thank you, Chief. What is that?
It's a missile going into a cupcake?
That looks sexual.
Does it?
I mean,
or is it
it
just
does
how you
look-
look at things?
Offer still stands, Wombat. I don't know what that means, but
it's for
to
DCS
get you a
stuff, and I
DCS,
appreciate
yeah.
it. Yeah.
Leg day or arm day?
It's always leg day.
I don't know.
Ladies
still
love the
echoing
leg
on
day.
your thing. Do you have echo cancellation enabled, sir?
I don't know.
You do.
Hold on. Yes.
Because you're going to have to start wearing earbuds. Oh my God, here we go. What ratings? Here's a... What ratings do you have at this point? By my count, you have at least a PPASL, instrument, commercial, complex, multi-engine, turbine. I don't think a turbine's a thing. ATP, PPH, heli commercial, 737 type rating. I got an ATP, which covers a lot of stuff. I got a commercial for single, right? It's an ATP multi and a commercial single because they don't give you an ATP single with that check, right? Complex high performance, tailwheel, helicopter commercial, 737 type rating. What do you have? You got a bunch of stuff. I could get a F-16 type rating if I added it, and an F-18.
I have a private pilot's, a CFI, CFII, MEI, ATP, Airbus type.
See, I do not have that. I don't have the CFI stuff. Is that part of, in order to teach?
In my current role, no.
Yeah.
ATP covers it.
What block Viper did you fly? 25, 30, big mouth, small mouth, 42. Mover ever do any online racing like iRacing? I did. I need to get back into that.
Yeah, it looks fun.
That. That is a lot of fun, man. How often do you need to fly the Hornet to maintain basic comfort level every year? 100 hours.
That's according to the Navy.
I don't know. Why'd you get all quiet, Wombat?
I'm just listening. I feel bad now that I'm echoey because I'm not doing
You're not
anything
echoing. They've said you're not echoing. It's my fault. You're
Okay.
not echoing anymore. Do you speak faster when flying fighters and speak slower when flying airliners when making radio calls? The
Nope.
opposite. I speak faster. It's all the same. No, I'm just kidding.
No, I always speak slow on the radio because if you sound cool, people think you know what you're doing.
Yeah, the less you say, the better off it is. Do you prefer low or high altitude flying? Low.
Absolutely.
Flying high is boring. Plus, you got to wear your mask. Maskonosphere.
I mean, do you if it's single seat? See, this is funny that this keeps coming up because we were almost going to do that today.
Well, all right. So that was the other thing too. One of the reasons there haven't been as many videos lately, besides the other stuff, I've been doing the sheriff's office field training program, and that takes up a lot of my time, and I'm really tired. So, I'm trying to like align with a shift and work days. So, like getting our schedules to work out and then edit the video has been tough. Maybe this weekend. What are you doing this weekend? You want to do it this weekend?
Well, I mean, Easter Sunday, I'm sure I'm doing something, but
well, maybe like Good Friday or something.
Yeah, I work early on Friday. I'm off Saturday, Sunday.
Do you think volunteering with the Civil Air Patrol will help on a UPT resume? It couldn't hurt. Any kind of volunteer work. I mean, you got to expand your horizons. Uh-oh, your dog is after you.
You could hear all that? Man.
Uh-huh. Yeah, sure can.
Now my son's crying. It's awesome.
Yeah. Yep. What would you rather fly professionally, the Apache or the Viper? The Viper.
Yeah. Anything with an ejection seat always wins.
Nah, especially having to be in the Army.
No, what's wrong with the Army?
Being in the Army.
Oh, okay.
That's what's wrong with the Air Force. It's too much like the Army. Do your books ship internationally, Wombat?
If you can buy it on Amazon, it'll ship. Actually,
Yeah.
they do, because I just got a 5-star review from the UK. So yes.
There you go. Luke, Mover and Wombat. What do you think the design protocols for the Navy's FAXX or the USAF NGAD platforms will be focused around or need to be? Even just your best guess.
Should be the next threat 3 threats from now, but it won't be.
Yeah, it'll probably be, contractor bloat, who can make the most money out of it. I mean, it's the standard stuff, right? Go high, get fast, do good work. You got to be able to shoot a bunch of missiles, not be seen, and see everybody else. Cool story, bro. Fox 3. Or whatever. I mean, maybe it's Fox 69 by then. They might have a new thing. I don't know.
Maybe. Who knows?
I'm not in the know.
There might be things out there I don't even know about.
Yeah. Again, views represented are my own and my guests, and do not represent the views of the DoD or its components. Oh my God, the chair force couldn't be any more different than the Army. You'd think, but as far as, because this is actually more Gonki's rant than mine, what's very similar about them is the lack of trust in people to do the right thing. The micromanagement, if you will.
They built that culture, though.
Yeah. Well, that's because they came from the Army. Army Air Corps, Air Force. Like, it's this whole robot mentality that, well, if it, we got to be able to tell you to, they don't, like the Navy, for example, says, you're an officer. We trust you to do the right thing. And if you don't, you're screwed.
Mostly.
Yeah. Yeah. Mover. Any plans to do more pilot interviews? Sure. There we go. Oh my God, there's some words. Hey, I just passed a psychological exam for fighter pilots, but I'm still thinking if it's that crucial to be able to multitask and quick thinking. I applied for the Romanian Air Force.
Congrats on passing the psychological exam.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the question is, but congratulations. I think he's just asking, should I be able to do the things that I just proved that I can do? And I think the answer is yes. I think it's good that you can do that. Yes, our books do ship it. If you can buy it, they'll ship. It's on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Kobo Books. Have you ever done air refueling? Yeah, a lot. In the Viper. I never did it in the Hornet, though.
I did.
Never needed to.
That's true, yeah.
Air. Yeah, you just red air. I mean, we never needed to. All right, dude. You know what? That's an hour. I think we can wrap this up. No, Mover wouldn't be Tommy Lee Jones' character in Firebirds. Tommy Lee Jones' character was a 60-something-year-old pretending to be in his 40s. He was 40 in the time. He was actually in his 40s when he made that movie. That's the saddest thing. I would love to get a Fanatec sponsorship. I'd probably have to pronounce it better.
I want any
Wombat.
sponsorship.
You're a stay-at-home mom, aren't you?
I am.
That's what the kid screaming in the background is all
Yeah,
about.
yeah. I'm not good at it, but
He's a nanny.
I'm a failing stay-at-home mom.
He's the nanny. Let's see here. Oh my God, somebody's trying to tell me how to stream VR. You need to be able to stream the monitor window for the. I know how to do that. I just don't know how to make not the double vision thing with Microsoft Flight Sim. Anyway, cool. Well, that'll do it for today. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. If you did, if you didn't, then sorry. Wombat, any closing comments or thoughts for the kids at home? Another successful stream?
No, it's keep working hard. I'm very excited when I hear people accomplishing things based on whether it's your personal advice to them or because they just watched your channel and that's what they took from it. So that's cool.
It's all them, man. Nobody does anything because of me. People do it because people do it.
They do it, but people need to know that there's a chance, and you bring that chance. So be proud of that.
You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them fish.
That's true.
There's a lot of screaming going on in the back.
He is not a happy camper right now. So
Well, we'll let you get back to your nanny and duties.
thanks.
Anyway, thank you. One more. Somebody makes Mover and Wombat for all that you do. Make a huge impact, and just know your name circulates around non-aviators like me. We've made the list. We're on somebody's list. I know I'm on the list. Trust me. I have been made aware that I'm on the list. Yeah. Okay, Wombat. Goodbye. People at home, thanks for watching. See you next time.